Hello, my name is Lucas. This is a bit of lit. I'm here to talk about the Black History Month book tag, and I was tagged by Brian at Bookish. He tagged everybody. I'm also tagging everybody. Let's get started. Number one, what is a book everyone should be reading during Black History Month? Give one fiction and one nonfiction title. For fiction, I guess I will say Bloodchild and Other Stories by Octavia E. Butler. An incredible, amazing short story collection by the wonderful Octavia E. Butler. Short stories using science fiction to discuss issues of race in America. And the way she really thinks about things and captures them and presents them to you is absolutely incredible. I look forward to her novels. Apparently, that's what she's known for, and I'm blown away by that because her short stories are great. As for the nonfiction title, I will give a couple actually. The first one I will give is Incidents in the Life of a Slave Girl by Harriet Jacobs, an incredibly brave, intelligent woman who was a slave, as were her children, and she gained freedom. What really strikes me about this, I mean, it is her story of gaining freedom. What she does, she like runs away or fakes running away and hides. Just one of many incredible moments, but hides in the sort of attic of a shed of another slave that she knows well, that is willing to hide her and help feed her. And she stays there so that she can always watch her children until she can think of another plan or get ready for the next step. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while since I've read it, but I do remember that part and being blown away at like the love and I mean yeah, the love she showed in that moment, and the ingenuity of that, and dedication, and yeah, she's incredible. Of course, also the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass is another incredible slave narrative of a freed slave that just again to name one moment that is amazing. I believe when he was younger, again, it's been a while since I've read it. When he was younger, he didn't know how to read and write, and he wasn't going to be taught. So he taught himself. Well, how did he do that? I believe he was a house slave. And the children, the children of the owners, he would spend some time with them. And, they're outside hanging out near the dirt, and he would say, like, I bet I can draw, or I bet I can write a better M than you, or, whatever letter. No, you can't. And then he would just write some nonsense. And they would laugh and say, that's ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. This is how you draw an M. And then he would commit that to memory and he would practice it. And, he practiced in other ways and learned in other ways and taught himself. How smart is that guy? It's the smartest thing I've ever read. I might be remembering the details a little bit incorrectly. Please forgive me. It has been a very long time since I've read it, but there are other really amazing moments like that. Those two slave narratives really stick out to me for Harriet Jacobs and Frederick Douglass. I would also like to point to The History of White People by Nell Irvin Painter, which is a granular history of white people and their conception of race and how it's transformed over time, and a whole slew of other things. I read it last year, and I was blown away. I mean, I learned so much reading this book, and I am grateful for having read it. Absolutely a must read. And The Dead Are Arising, The Life of Malcolm X by Les Payne and Tamara Payne. I read it recently, so I want to give it a shout out. I made a video of this book. It is an excellent book, and I think more people should read it. It's about Malcolm X and his life and all the things he believed, and I certainly unlearned some things that I had thought I knew about Malcolm X and learned a lot of new things that I didn't. I will leave a link in the video for my video review of it down below in case you are interested. Great book. Amazing person. In a way, not always great throughout his life, but certainly advocating for justice and having great message and this kind of thing. I had the wrong conception about his message from how I had been taught how people had taught me about him. But because of the book, which I am grateful to have read, I've learned a lot about the errors of my education. Which Black booktuber would you recommend watching and why? This has already gone on 6.5 minutes for one question, so I'm just going to say Q and TG, two guys that really put in a lot of effort into their videos. Really great dynamic, really funny. Sometimes they even take the next step and they make a Stephen Kang rap or a Cosmere rap or something. Yeah, great dynamic, really funny guys. And you should watch them because they are really chill. And they talk about video games and movies, as well as books, if you're interested in that. Number 3, what is your favorite book written by a Black author from an African country? I have not read a lot of novels written by Black authors from African countries. I've read a few from white people that are from Africa. Albert Camus, I believe he's from Algeria, right? Anyway, I would have to say, I actually read it recently, The River Between by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. It is an astonishing book. I mean, really powerful and moving and upsetting in a lot of ways, and certainly maybe a little bit difficult to come to terms with, especially content-wise, if you for Western tastes, because of some of the content involved. But it's about colonialism, and that's not the part I'm talking about. That is hard for Western tastes. It's about how that can shape and shift and destroy culture, and there's a certain cultural practice in this book that would be quite difficult to accept for Western people. Certainly, I have been fed a lot of information about this to deem it not a good practice, but it is a cultural practice, and the book's contention is basically colonialism is destroying these cultures and trying to rip these ideas from these cultures without replacing them, or replacing them with things that don't have value in the same way that these foundational cultural ceremonial rites do, which causes a schism in the mind and in the culture and in the people. Certainly there's a schism between the two villages that the river is between. And yeah, I made a video about it where I talked about it in a more logical way. Amazing book, Ngugi wa Thiong'o. Looking forward to reading more from him, because his writing in that book was incredible. What is your favorite Black classic? I would have to say that my favorite Black classic. I don't know if there's a book title for some of his poetry, but I would just say Langston Hughes's poetry. I really admire it. I mean, there's so much energy and passion put into it, and I just think that it really packs a punch and knows how to, you know, get things flowing in your mind and emotionally. And so I don't know if there's a title for any of his books of poetry. There must be, but I don't know the names of them. But I would just say Langston Hughes' poetry certainly is moving for me. And that would be my favorite Black classic literature, is his poetry. Which movie or book-to-movie adaptation or documentary would you recommend watching? I've got a couple. Two of them are by Ousmane Sembène, and one is about Sembène. I hope I'm saying his name right. One is Sembène, The Making of African Cinema. It just shows him and his ideas and how this Senegalese director came to his ideas and what he's really trying to show and these kind of things. Really amazing. He's got a short movie called Borom, Sarret, or The Wagoner in English. It's about a cart taxi driver that goes around this city, and he meets all different kinds of characters, and it is very visually metaphoric. Each character is sort of a metaphor for different things in the life of a person in the city in Senegal at this time. I believe you can find it on YouTube, actually. Amazing short film about being in a city in Senegal at the time. It's been a while since I've watched it, so I can't remember specific details. I remember he goes out to make money for the day, and he meets a businessman, and he meets some priest, and he meets some other, or not a priest, but some guy who speaks highly of the people and whatever, and he meets some other situations, and he ends up finally giving his money to that preacher guy, and then comes home with nothing, and his wife has to go out and make money. Now I'll let you leave your imagination to that. There's also Black Girl, which is also by Ousmane Sembène, from what I remember. And it is about a black girl that goes to France. Ousmane Sembène. She's Senegalese. She goes to France to be a governess. And the way she is treated from the minute she meets this French couple, and when the French couple goes back to the village where she's from, is just heartbreaking. It's an incredible movie. I don't know if you can find it easily. La Noire de... I don't know the French title. La Noire de... Anyway, if you can find that one, definitely watch that one, and The Wagoner, Borom, Sarret. What's on your TBR for Black History Month? Well, I'm currently reading Ralph Ellison's The Invisible Man. I've read The River Between by Ngugi wa Thiong'o, and I read Les Payne's and Tamara Payne's The Dead Are Arising, The Life of Malcolm X. I was hoping to read The Delectable Negro by... I can't remember. It came out in 2008, though. I was hoping to read that book. I don't think I will be able to. I'll just read in March then. It's not a big deal. I don't have to. Oh no, I didn't finish it for February. I guess I can't read it now. No, I'll just read it in March. But I can't remember who the author is. It's gonna bother me. I know it's gonna be harrowing. That's why I tried to save it for the end of the month, and then whatever I read after that is going to be like sunshine and rainbows, because that's going to be a dark, depressing book. Number 7, which new releases by Black writers are you looking forward to the most this year? It already came out, but I'm looking forward to Nnedi Okorafor's Remote Control. She wrote the Binti Trilogy, which I have mixed feelings about. I liked the first two, the second one the most, and then the third one I was fine with until the end, and it just... I got what it was going for symbolically, but it just felt kind of silly, and I couldn't take it seriously as I was meant to. But, you know, I still saw some promise. She's a Nigerian-American writer, I believe. And, yes, I am looking forward to that. It came out in January 19th of this year. And I have wanted to read some other works by her, but haven't had time. But that came out this year, so I'm looking forward to it. And I guess it's set in Ghana. Is she from Ghana? No, she's not. Okay. Nnedi Okorafor was born in the United States to two Igbo Nigerian immigrant parents. Okay. And she has a PhD in English. I knew that. And was a professor of creative writing at Chicago State University. I knew that too. Okay. I knew she... Okay. That's embarrassing. Okay. That was that. Quite a long time. But that's fine. Thank you for watching, and enjoy your day.